What is going on YouTube? Jay's Two Cents bringing you another vlog. Actually, I'm bringing myself a vlog, I guess, and you guys just happen to get to watch. I said yesterday there was something I wanted to talk about, and I started reading that book that I mentioned quite a while ago called Know Your Strengths, or Now Know Your Strengths. And I just thought this was, I'm only like part of the way through the first chapter, and they're really big chapters, like the whole book is only 4 chapters. And so I thought that this would be something that somebody listening here could probably use some of the words that are in this book. And it's really, really interesting because it's the whole meat of it, the whole concept here is to train yourself to stop dwelling on the negatives or your weaknesses and start recognizing your strengths and building upon your strengths. It talks about how schools, employers, placement agencies, anything, our entire life, we're taught, oh, okay, you're good at this. That's good. Don't worry about that. You're good at it. But you're not good at this. So let's work on it. Let's work on this stuff you're not good at. And this book is saying, hey, who cares if you're not good at that? Because if you spend your entire life, or let's say even spend a chunk of your life trying to get better at something you're not good at, you're never going to be more than mediocre at it. But instead, if you take your time and you play to your strengths and you do what it takes to be better at the things you are good at, then you're going to become extraordinary in those areas of your life. And the stuff that you're mediocre at, so what? There's 31 different, he says, I'm sorry, 34. There's 34 different traits that we all have in common. What they did was they interviewed 198,000 people. 198,000 people in the workplace, actually. And they asked all of them the same interview questions, and they came to the conclusion that there were 34 common factors that all of these people had in common. And now these were managers, these were janitors, blue collar workers, white collar workers, owners, executives, VIP, or not VIP, but you know what I'm saying. But they all, 198,000 of them, had the same 34 traits in common. But what they found really interesting is that there are 5 strengths that everybody had unique. And so the idea here is to stop, we've heard it in school. Oh, you're not very good at math, so we have to work on your math. Or you're not very good at English, so let's strengthen up your English. And there's nothing wrong with that, don't get me wrong. But the problem is society as a whole just wants to focus on our weaknesses while ignoring our strengths. And it's just backwards of the way that it really should be when it comes to bettering yourself as a person. And so far what I'm reading in this book is that if you work on your strengths, your weaknesses by proxy will get pulled up as well as your strengths. So instead of spending your time and your talents worrying about something that you're never going to be great at anyway. And I'm really loving this book because of the fact that I've never thought about it that way. In everything that I do, even on YouTube, on my main channel, I thought, okay, why isn't this working? Why isn't this working? Or why didn't this work? Instead of looking at the stuff that is working and saying, why did that work? What am I doing on YouTube that's good? What am I doing that plays towards my personality, towards my strengths, towards the things that I'm good at? Instead, I've been really grinding, trying to figure out what it is that I'm bad at to fix that. When that's the wrong mentality altogether. I hope you guys are getting what I'm saying here, and I hope you guys are hearing this message. And they've interviewed Warren Buffett. They've interviewed Tiger Woods, Bill Gates, and these guys all had the same things in common, where they ignored their weaknesses altogether. They didn't focus on their weaknesses. And employers want to say, okay, you're really good at communication, but you're not very great on your TPS reports. So I don't know, something like that. So we're going to work on your communication's good, so we're going to leave that alone, but we're going to work on these areas that you're not as good at. And we're going to call those areas of opportunity. And so what you end up with is an entire workforce of mediocre employees because the employer has spent time, money, and investment in training you to be better at the things you're weak at, rather than recognizing your strengths and allowing you to do a job that you're strong in. And now I understand why my boss gave me, or the owner of my company gave me this book. It's really changing the way, just in one day of reading it, it's really changing my way that I'm looking at a lot of things. And I think this is definitely a book that I could recommend. It's called Now Know Your Strengths. And you're probably going to hear more about this as I read this book, because I guarantee you can apply this in any area of your life, whether it be weight loss, muscle gain, kicking a bad habit or something. So, hope you guys have enjoyed today's vlog. I'm Jace 2 Cents. I'm getting the hell out of here and I'm going to bed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.